right, everybody. It's at least a 2-dog night. I think it's a 3-dog night around here somewhere. But it's a Friday Freedom happy hour. But first of all, we grab something red.
I have a red truck.
Yes, she's got something red because we RED every Friday. We remember everyone deployed. So thank you to all our servicemen and women. And Kai is a little bored already, but we're going to get Westwood in here with us and kick it off on a Friday happy hour. Thanks for joining us, Nana.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be right back right after this. Happy Friday, Westwood.
Happy
Cheers.
Friday. Cheers.
Cheers to the water.
Cheers to the water in the plastic bottle that runs all the little plastic fibers into my head.
Oh well.
Oh wow.
That's the only time I drink is when I come out here. I always think, why didn't I bring my canister out with the filtered water from inside? And I grab a bottle when I'm out here, and
I was surprised
not
that
the worst thing in the bar I could grab.
Well, that's true. I was surprised, the new Maha, which looks like a pizza, is shaped like a pizza, of course.
Yeah.
And I did see the White House came out with a little AI video where they're to announce the new Maha food pyramid. They're shooting, of course, pizza and hot dogs. There's no coincidence there. Everyone can do your own research on the FBI website.
Yes.
For what those stand for. But they no, stop. You have a little boy peeking around the corner and dogs growling. Sorry. Might be a chaotic Freedom Friday happy hour,
Yeah.
but anyway, we're gonna have the barking dogs on this side.
Yeah, right. This one's over here on the couch crashed. I don't know if Franny's over here.
There we go.
Looking for something, probably a mouse or something.
Yeah, but I was surprised that they didn't mention anything about water or like orange juice being bad or whatever, because that was kind of always a big
it's all sugar
myth about how they pushed orange juice on people back in the day and all that.
I like orange juice.
I know you do because it's sugar.
I know. It's good.
It's bad for you.
You get your hit in the morning.
But
Shot of orange juice.
I didn't hear them mention that. Maybe
High vitamin C.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's high sugar. But maybe I just missed that, but I didn't notice any of that. Did you catch any of that?
I did not. No, I noticed some people making jokes about the food pyramid and what there was like a cow at the top, and the cow's like, this isn't going to go well. It's like, this is not good.
Like the Chick-fil-A, eat more chicken.
Yeah, right. Eat the other white meats, not me.
Don't pick me. Well, I wondered about all that.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I need to look at it. So the new food pyramid has been released, huh?
Yeah, I'll pull up a little image of it.
Yeah, and I can look at it.
Because it was, what was funnier to me was the video on the White House thing of them doing the little AI video where they're spaceships, like, it was like the old spaceship, whatever, and they're like, pew, 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 and they're shooting hot dogs and pizza.
Huh.
High carbohydrate. Yes, Tang is an astronaut drink. Kent says. No, it's not. Lord.
Yeah, they took it to the moon.
Oh boy.
Of course they
Get
did.
started on Tang.
Let me see if I can find the White House. Oh, Lord. They keep trying to kick me off of Twitter. Oh, because I don't know my password and can't get into my original email.
And I can't get the information I need. Life sucks in the digital world.
Yes, this is so difficult. Please, Google, give me back my original YouTube account like you gave everyone else's.
I can't believe you didn't get yours back.
No.
That's bogus.
I know.
It's not right.
Get mine back. And maybe I just don't know how to. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe Rice can help me. I know he got his back.
Right. Go to someone who has gotten theirs back and find out what path did you
Yeah.
take. I haven't lost mine because, small bullseye.
Well, yeah, you also don't make bad choices like me. Let's
I just
see.
talk fantasy in a car.
You're pretty consistent.
It's my fantasy and I'm living it.
That's right. Happy Law Enforcement Day. Keeping everyone safe today.
Yep. Don't run over any ICE officers and you'll be all right.
Don't slip on the ice.
Right. It was nice here today. Nice and sunny. How's your weather down there? Is it nice?
It was nice today.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a
probably
little
warm, isn't it?
windy, but it's been pretty warm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm taking it for this time of the year. I am happy with it. It's nice.
This was great news. The United States has withdrawn from 66 organizations, NGOs.
Good.
No wasting taxpayer dollars on these. And of course, a lot of that was how a lot of the fraud went around, was going through all these, globalist agenda crap.
Right.
So,
yeah, set up shell companies so that they can funnel money to all their fun, goody things.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought it was this.
Your feed.
Ma-
it's White House.
This isn't mine. This is the White House's feed. So it's not quite as bad as mine.
They're trying.
Yeah. Maybe I should do an image search instead.
It says dietary guidelines. Is it?
Yeah. I mean,
Do
she'll
that.
show it eventually, I guess. But
I'll see if it aligns with my dietary guidelines. I know what works for me. We'll see if they align with my thinking.
no, it won't show a visual.
These are the foundation to all America's
Mhm.
programs for the needy in our country,
Yeah.
such as
Bad choices. Let's see.
She's all pink.
Food pyramid graphic or something.
There you go. All right. New food pyramid.
Okay.
A pyramid made of Reese's peanut butter cups.
There's the new one.
All right, let's see it.
There you go. There's not actually a cow on it.
It's beef. Yeah, it's a big steak. A
The
real
steak
up
on it.
there.
Yeah. And cheese and
Milk.
So it's basically all that stuff kind of up in there is good, and then
I thought this was interesting, frozen peas.
Well, they flash
could
freeze
be.
until they're higher.
yeah, it could. Well, they probably maintain the nutrition better if they are flash
Yeah.
frozen, like you said.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because
Same
then
way.
the transportation, they maintain the nutrition.
And kills the parasites if there are any on it.
There you go.
Hmm.
I've heard that about green
The
beans.
oranges are way down here with bananas and bread.
It's the orange. It's not orange juice. You need to eat the orange with all the skin and
sweet.
stuff, and then you get a little fiber. And yeah.
And look at these nuts
It's
down
cute.
here with rice, whole grains.
Yeah.
I don't know what these little things are, but don't eat them.
Tortilla chips or something. What is that?
I don't know what that is, but it's something very small.
Hmm.
And grapes.
The bugs.
I'm not going to agree with this because butter's only like in the middle.
Oh my God, they just don't appreciate good
Oh.
things.
I know. I would think butter would be up here higher with whole milk.
It should be.
It should be up here with
But,
and olive oil.
Yeah, we got an egg up there.
Yeah.
Broccoli,
Huh?
turkey, salmon.
it certainly should be ahead of the shrimp, which is such a scavenger.
Yeah, I wouldn't think the shrimp
Yeah,
should
I
be
know.
there.
Shrimp are kind of.
And the tuna, like in a
legs.
can, that's full of like heavy metals and stuff.
Yeah, that's the problem. I
Mhm.
guess if it were good tuna that did not, up the food chain, consume all the mercury.
Or Fukushima radiation,
Yeah, isn't that still going off somehow? It's still leaking at some level, I think. I don't know that they really ever sealed it. And that was what, 2011, I think.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
doesn't right.
Just raise the radiation levels to where they're up here instead of down here, and then it's fine. Fits in the window now.
I don't know. We'll see. But you know, more of this, I guess this is kind of to my point today is we still have to think for ourselves.
Yes.
We're still getting stuff handed out to us, and there's still these teams and clubs, and you know, oh well, my team's winning, and you know, there was a really weird post right before dinner where George Magazine is now fighting with the professor.
And Marianne.
Magazine LLC. Why isn't it coming up?
It came up.
It's this one.
Mhm.
No, that's not it. That's weird because it came up as George Magazine.
It's a fukini.
It's
That's
a-
what the great Gazoo says. It looks like a food bikini.
George Returns.
And it does.
No, that's not
coming
it.
soon. Coming soon.
No, that's
So-
not it though.
I'll go back to the one that's not locked. The previous page. Yeah, that one. Oh, that comes up.
But see, now it says it's not it. And I swear I just looked at it, but that was on my phone, which I can't get to. Out of count.
Well,
Whoops.
I think somebody hacked them, their website or something.
Maybe
It
that's why.
It was so contrary to what you think they would say.
So, yeah, I don't know if they know that that's what's going on. Have you seen where the George Magazine's fighting with the professor about like, hey, you should?
I didn't
They're
see.
trying to get him to,
what
like, not-
professor?
Um,
That's why I jest, about Gilligan's Island, because I don't know which professor it is.
oh, Clements.
Clement? I don't even know who that is. Who is that?
Yes, it is. It's the guy that you and I have gone through his stuff about.
It's not Kim Clement.
No, stopping the
he's a
steal
pastor.
and all that.
Oh, that soft-spoken professor guy.
Oh, that's the other guy. That's right. Oh, yeah. The great voice would be a good reader.
The professor. God, what's his title? His handle is terrible. George Online LLC is what it is.
Really? That's their handle?
No, that's not professor. That's George Online Magazine.
Magazine, right.
Okay. So this is where George Magazine is now saying that there's no evidence of the they're saying that there's no evidence of the vote being stolen. And they're arguing with David Clements, the prof's record.
No evidence, huh?
Yeah. Isn't this crazy?
What about all that ballot harvesting they do?
Well, that's what I'm saying. And
What's
we've
that
seen,
about?
Ruby, what's her name, with the thumb drives, and
You've got people, I remember watching videos of people that were doing in actually Minneapolis area, where they were talking about how they have people just go fill in names and vote. I mean, they pay them. I mean, they're bragging about it on social media. There are little organizers out there doing this stuff.
And actually, I'm no expert on anything, especially software, but this post, saying there's no central database, national server. Well, to begin with, they were saying that the Dominion software, which was installed on all of them, somehow linked up to satellites, so you don't need a domestic whatever, right?
the
Well, it's the whole thing.
Leonardo.
Didn't it get stolen in another country, Italy or something? I mean,
Supposedly the
some-
Leonardo satellite or whatever.
hopping around.
So
It shouldn't be online in the first place, right? I mean-
I honestly don't know what this is about.
But then they're saying,
I
so their
mean-
point is that they said, see, be careful. This is what the black pilled want, is for you to think that your vote doesn't matter. So you stop caring and you don't vote at all.
Right.
So look how dangerous it can be to be in one camp or another and just be neutralized completely.
There's several posts about that topic. You should probably go to the X thing and read all the different ones. But
Well, that is the danger if you live in a democratic form of government and you're non-participatory. That's a problem because your voice is supposed to matter, and if you just say forget it, I mean, I get it why people do that though. I mean, and they don't participate because it's lesser of two evils. Why am I going to even pick one? I only got two choices.
yeah, I hear that all the time.
At the grassroots level, and I get that. I mean, and at the grassroots level, though, that's where it matters the most. And so I guess, we talked about a little bit before the show, community is important. So, I mean, you got to kind of really focus. We put a lot of focus, and it affects us. I mean, taxes and, the policies that occur at the national level. But I mean, many of the policies at the local level, you can control. And I mean, you go sit in on committee meetings and hear your voice, they'll let you speak. And I mean, they do listen. I mean, you see the videos where they don't listen, you see, different things. But for the most part, you go to a local meeting, there are rules to follow, and they have to justify their actions when they vote, for certain things. And your voice does matter at the local level. It does make an impact, especially if enough people show up. So, at least we can control that. Maybe we should focus more on that sometimes.
Yeah. So this
That's
is
where we live.
This is kind of the gist of it. He says, no one is saying not to vote. Because if you go and watch all of the professor's record, David Clements, he actually gives a step-by-step, like how to bring in the military and vote by paper, on paper, and have the military count it. And so for George Magazine to say, that's your implication by saying it's all rigged and a fraud, you're then painting a hopeless picture, which I do not agree with. Because if you watch David Clements' videos, it's not hopeless. He talks about how Tina Peters can be rescued and brought out. I mean, he says, President Trump, please contact me. Here's how Tina Peters can be brought out of, and we can use her proof to show the fraud that was brought forth on the American people, not on Trump, but on the American people. And then can use I believe it's the National Guard to have paper ballots, and for the people to have their voice heard and use paper ballots, and there to be a hand counted vote. So he says using voting. So I'm very concerned that
They're not talking to him.
the George Magazine is and maybe this is to cause a conversation and for people to choose for themselves and to not just sit in a camp and let somebody else think for themselves. So I hope people will decide that they do want to vote, and they want to vote on paper, and be a part of having their, when Trump was elected this last time, I've never stood in a line so long. I thought the election lines were long before, but when we went in and, they had all the early voting, and people thought, oh, well, we won't have such long lines. But even the early voting lines were really long because people wanted their votes heard. They wanted, to be a part of something. We need to all make sure that it can't be stolen or,
show up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Because then the numbers would have been, if you had doubled those numbers on the other side, then they would have had to make a reasoning why there were not only you know, they would have it would have looked like there were 500 million people in America or something, and they would have had to explain that. They're already having to make explanations why there's people that are 200 years old, you know, voting. So
Hey, they're eating from the new food pyramid, and so it's keeping them
maybe that's
healthy.
it.
That's it.
Maybe that's it. Wow. I don't know. It does feel like it's all getting, you know, coming down to the wire. I guess leading into the midterms is where it's
Yeah, and now's the time to bring that hot button issue up, you know, about voting, because that's exactly what I was thinking. You know, you've got the midterms coming up, so now is the time to bring it to the forefront, to have that discussion and have that argument, you know, and get people fired up about it, so that, you know, hey, we just gonna do the same thing again? I mean, you know, we didn't believe it in the past, and what are we doing to change it?
yeah.
You know, there needs to be that outcry. I mean, that's the most important thing, I would think, as a politician who wants to do well. If you were to run, the most frustrating thing probably has to be in looking at the complacency of the public, thinking that, okay, I'm going to do everything I can up here, but I'm kind of fighting these forces. We need a public outcry and numbers to push back, to really make a change. Because for the most part, I mean, you know, you're going to have 80% of the people just kind of go along with it. And that number may not be right, but, you know, they just kind of, okay, you know, I can go along. It's not too bad. And, you know, boil the frog harder. And you just kind of, you go with it as long as things don't get, you know, you don't hit major upheaval like a housing crisis or a banking crisis or something like that. Most people can kind of muddle through. And you need people to kind of, okay, this is a problem. Let's fix it. Activating those people is the problem. How do you do it?
I think the repeating cycles, though, people will do it once or they'll let it happen one time, but they won't let it happen a second time. And I'm thinking about, like, you know, we're entering flu season. And
Yes.
they're pushing this whole narrative again. They're already putting the fear porn out in the maps about, oh, people are getting sick and all this BS, you know, and hey, cut it out. And this is already, you know, you can smell it. You can smell when they start pushing the fear. And you can already tell where people are like a little, you can come so far, but don't you come too far.
Yeah.
And so we kind of already know what they're going to try again, you know? And I don't know. I think people are not going to let it happen again.
You've got more people who are unwilling to let it happen again. And that's the thing, that when you went through COVID, that woke a lot of people up. Other people kind of went into the hole and closed their minds and can't wake up. But more people woke up from that event. And I think you're right on that aspect for sure. There's a bigger segment of people now that are just, no, I don't believe any of this crap. This is ridiculous. It's all propaganda. It's the same old script. You do the same things over and over again, fear people into doing things. And so you've got more people that have that mindset, that are awake to it, and they're just like, no. And you see it, you know, vaccination rates are going way down, and oh my gosh, you know, we've got a measles outbreak, you know, and it's like, well, measles used to be a common thing everybody would get, you know.
Yeah. It's like chickenpox.
Chickenpox. It's like, okay, a chickenpox outbreak. How many people die from chickenpox? You know what I mean? It's just like falling down the steps. You know, more people do that, I would think, and bump their head and die. You know, and it's just, but you create that, yeah, like you said, put the heat map out, make it really bright red and purple in these areas, and there's like 10 people. You know,
right.
Look at the scale of what it is, but the colors and the impact. You know, they're trying to make you scared. You know,
and the reporting, and the things that just naturally occur. I mean, people get cold and people get illnesses, and
people realize that for flu shots, they don't know what strain of flu there's going to be every year, so they guess on the vaccine. They guess the most common type of flu that's going, and that's what they put in the vaccine. So even if you get it, you can get a different strain of flu and be sick. I mean, it's not going to help anything. And so it's a roll of the dice, it's a crapshoot, you know, the whole thing is. And so, I mean, you know.
We all know it's the repeat. To Jim's question, yes, we talked about that yesterday on the show with Skullcap, and we can discuss it again today. But we brought up the letter that was sent out for our in the USPS. You have some family members that were in the Postal Service, and so we did a little post call, with a little going postal, and they also, it's really interesting because there are several, like, so we have our little Mighty Merchants, thrifting, vintage antique business online, and our shipping business gave us the new postal rates start on the 26th, which is interesting that it wouldn't start on the end
Usually
of the
like
month,
July 1st or something, or
right?
January 1st. I mean, it's
And
usually
then, Scott Besant came out and he said, we're going to start, the new tax season is going to roll out on the 26th. And so I had an epiphany finally. I'm sorry, I'm self-employed, so I don't have the normal people's tax issues. So the thing was, usually people get like, I think the 1099, whatever form you get, that if you are employed by someone else, they have to give you your whatever thing, usually by January 31st, so that you can file for your return no later than April 15th.
yeah.
That for you to pay your taxes, but you might get a refund. And so they're making sure now that this year that employers have to have in their employees' hands that document to receive your refund or file your taxes no later than the 26th this year, which is interesting because that's a Monday, I believe. And yeah, it's a Monday. And like, that's kind of strange day. Like, why would they do that versus the end of the month? Except that there is a delivery day for silver this year. So I'm just saying, and it's usually the 3 days before. Like, so could that be, this is just a what if.
Yeah.
Could there be a bank run that next Tuesday, or could that Wednesday the banks go down and they already know this is going to happen, and so they want to get those documents to people on that day so they're physically in their hand. I don't know.
I mean, with the way the silver's playing out, who knows at this point? I mean, it's a big. Can you hear her barking?
No, I can't hear.
I can't believe that. I mean, when people were here last week, I mean, she's just barking like crazy. They can hear it,
Yeah.
and you couldn't even hear it, which is amazing because she's loud.
No,
She's over here yelping away.
that's what mine were going crazy in here because they get the sleepy sillies like around this time, and they start WrestleMania and little feet everywhere, and yeah. So sorry. I know that's probably hard for you to have a conscious stream of thought. Oh, I heard a little bit there.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's possible. I mean, something's cracking in the whole silver thing. Something's cracking, period, because, I mean, you've got copper up and nickel up. I mean, you've got all the metals just going way up, which is an interesting thing because usually the gold and silver play is when people are scared and, it looks like the banking crisis is coming, that kind of thing. And then, copper and, well, nickel would be more of a war play, I think. But copper going up usually means that the economy is going to do very well. So you've got these two forces at work to where, because you need a lot of copper for industry and, you're building buildings and all that stuff. But the fact that that's pushing up along with gold and silver, it makes you think, I just keep thinking crack up, boom. I mean, that's kind of what's in my thinking here for the next 6 months. Maybe we start something like that to where it's just a rush for everything. I could be wrong.
Crack up boom is a cliff high. Crack up boom is a cliff high.
A data point was
the crack up boom is a name of one of his letters or whatever.
Alta reports or something.
Alta reports,
Yeah.
is the
And I
correct.
think it goes back to, Austrian economics. There's that phase where you get into a crack up boom cycle to where everybody has no faith in the money anymore, and they're just going to buy all assets that they possibly can because they think their dollars or their currency is weakening. And so it's like, just get anything you can that has value immediately. And it just drives the price of everything that has value up.
Buy hard assets. Well, that's funny.
Buy it all, yeah.
Mom and I were thrifting the other day, and we actually went to an antique shop, and we were purposefully going around looking for like metals and stuff. And I got this.
And you bought a Sasquatch foot cast? Oh no!
No, it's a copper tray, but it weighs about
cool.
a pound.
Nice.
And I got it for $5, and so
copper $6 a pound.
Yeah, and it's only going to go higher. Heidi's prediction from, I think somebody reshared it, and it was either from October of last year. I think it was October of last year, and she was like, all I'm going to say is copper 2026.
Yeah.
And it's really pretty, but so, just little things like that, trying to look at what's down right now. And then Trump met with all the oil guys today and in Venezuela. And it really has me think about like the Bet on Main Street thing. So the guys that were talking were the little guys. Harold Hamm, which he's not a little guy, he's a billionaire in Oklahoma. Right. But it wasn't Conoco. It wasn't like the big companies talking. And maybe it's because they're not going to talk on camera and make big deals. Maybe they aren't agreeing with what Trump was saying they were going to do with the money. But the smaller companies that were privately owned were the ones talking. And they were the ones saying, like, I have this interest close by. I have this going on. I have that going on. And they're saying, like, they're going to rebuild the infrastructure. And it made me think of, I love watching Peter Santinello. He travels all over. Yes. Talks to people, real people that live in the towns and countries. He leaves his opinion out, but tells you how people live in those areas. Yeah. And he had done a video on West Virginia and coal mine areas. And he talked about, how these little towns were founded on coal companies, and they came in and there was nothing there, but these coal companies create
nowhere where the coal is.
They built towns, with the company store, and for better or worse, and they built homes, and they built schools, and they built everything a town would need. And the infrastructure, roads and bridges and schools and stores and all this. And it really was how the West was kind of built. It kind of carried on. And that's what they're it sounds like that's what they're going to do with Venezuela, is they're going to have these businesses go in and build Venezuela's infrastructure with these company stores. Now, it doesn't always, they're good and bad with that, because you've always heard,
the song.
Yeah.
Oh, my soul to the company store.
There you go. So there's good and bad with all of that.
Yep.
And we don't want people to be in a centralized system of that, where they can't have, where they have a centralized.
You mean like socialism that they have now? Yeah.
Right. We don't want that. We want where they're getting paid in a decentralized system, where they can spend their dollar, their energy that they put in is paid out in a decentralized way, in a healthy way. But as far as creating the infrastructure, that could be a positive thing. So.
Yeah, that's kind of necessary. I mean, because what happens, socialism, it sounds great at first, because there's always a guy that comes along, usually a guy, and then comes along and promises all these great things, hey, we've got all this money, we're rich, we've got all these resources, you're not getting your fair share, la, 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 la. And, they come in, and the next thing it is you start distributing that wealth. And pretty soon the incentive for doing well, those people who, did take risks. And I mean, maybe they had help, the corporations, innovators, builders, that kind of thing. Maybe they did help with incentives from government. They might have. But they did build things. They built things that, got the gold out, got the oil out, and, built that industry and built that infrastructure. And then when government socialism comes in, they're like, well, we're just going to take this over, and we're going to make sure that we hand out, things to people that voted. And the problem is there's not enough money to go around at some point, because your people who developed those things, that worked hard for those things, because that, to benefit from those things, obviously that's why we do things. We make life easier, make more money doing it, and we put our energy into it. Well, when you disincentivize those people, then pretty soon, I was using the analogy. I was talking to a neighbor the other day about this, and he had a bunch of wood sitting outside of his house, and I said, it's just like, you're chopping your wood, you're putting it in your outdoor burner, and boom, you get the immediate result of your work, and you're satisfied with it. You don't mind working hard, boom, I'm heating my home. However, what happens if you go out and cut your wood, and the government's standing there and says, well, you can chop all this wood and you get to keep 20% of it. This other 80% we get to distribute to these other poor people who, they need warmth too. And it's like, well, are they over here at least picking the wood up? Are they doing anything to help? No, we're just going to give it to them because they need it. Okay. I mean, yes, if they're destitute, and they're old, and, and they can't do anything, but that's not what always happens. It's always, you're working and now you get less. And so what's my incentive to work? I'm not going to chop the wood anymore. I'll take 20% and sit on my butt, and then you just demoralize the society that way, because there's no incentive to do better. There's no incentive to be a better person, to strive for anything more. You've just killed that human spirit with socialism. And so that's where they're at now in Venezuela, it seems. And you've got the people saying, okay, yeah, we thought it might be a good idea to vote for this guy or the guy before him, and now this guy. Well, now he's in here and he can rig elections because he's got too much power, and now our country sucks. We've got all these resources, we can't access them, we can't be wealthy anymore. We need to, go back to more of a capitalistic mindset, because that is how you get people to do their best. I mean, when you unleash that human spirit, now, again, capitalism, what we have here is not capitalism. It's kind of crony capitalism, because government gets involved and chooses winners and losers, chooses them. But true capitalism, that's exactly what it does. And what does it do? You get wealthy, and most people, when they get wealthy, they're like, I need to give something back. Mm-hmm. And they'll build things and create, an orphanage, or, or whatever it may be. They'll do things to give back to society after they get wealthy. And that's the ideal scenario, but that has happened in the past with wealthy entrepreneurs, and people, when government wasn't in the way. But now you get government in the way, and everybody thinks, well, I can go to sleep now, government's going to handle it, or I don't have to work as hard, or, and it kills the human spirit, this whole idea of socialism.
Yeah. Well, and what I'm concerned about is people, now all this fraud is coming out. Mm-hmm. And people are seeing the layering center, as they're all saying. That's kind of been the pin in to kind of call all the fraud. And now I don't want people to feel defeated that, oh, you can't get ahead, that it really is the they and the fraud and us, and that you should just give up, because the fraud is being exposed so that we, the people, can put an end to that. That's being put an end to. When you can see it, it's being stopped. Because when you couldn't, you used to never be able to say, no one said George Soros's name. That's when he was still doing what he was doing. Yeah. He was doing the things, and he was most powerful. You couldn't even if you knew about him, they couldn't say his name on TV. Now they say his name all the time, because he's lost his power. Right. He's not a thing anymore. Yeah. He's powerless now.
Everybody sees,
and now we know about it. Yeah. And I think the fraud is the same way, that now we're being shown it because we needed to know about it so it would never happen again. And so I want people to be empowered by that, to say,
yeah, right. That's the time to take action.
Had to be shown it so that it would never happen again.
Yeah.
I don't want
No.
people to feel powerless by this.
Right, because it can handicap. Yeah, exactly. It can handicap you, and yeah, you'll paralyze yourself just from the standpoint. It's just too overwhelming. It's too big. It's broken. There's nothing we can do to fix it. It's like, yeah, but it's been broken for a long time. I mean, they assassinated a president and took over a government, in 1963. So it's been going on for a long time, and they've been covering it up. You just didn't know about it. It was in the dark. Now that it's in the light, it's like, yeah, you should be kind of ticked off, but realize that it's not new. I mean, it's been happening, and that's why you're basically screwed and you can't buy a house anymore and you can't retire anymore. And, the food costs way too much. The rent is too damn high, that kind of thing. I mean, but that's been going on. It's been building for a long time. It's been working under the surface for a long time. I mean, all of the crazy, evil things that's been happening. And yeah, it's good to see that it's out there. And it's like, don't think that it wasn't happening before, so now is no different. But now that you can see it, now's the time to, okay, yeah, it is real. What can we do about it? What should we do about it? Done.
And we know what to do about it. What gives them the power? Being in their system, because they have nothing if we stop putting our energy in their system,
right,
in their fiat,
with their vampire casino chips, right?
Right. Because if you never put $1 in the fiat system, they can't go loan it out 10 times.
Right. Fractional reserve banking.
Fractional reserve banking can't ever start if you don't make the first deposit.
Right. If it's not in there, then they can't loan it out 9 times.
Right. 9 times. Yeah.
I think it is 9 times. I mean, they might have increased it. Who knows?
No, I think you're right.
If it's not there, but think about that though. You put it, $10,000 in the bank, and they go out and loan 90,000. They create out of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's your inflation, and I think that's mostly where a lot of the inflation comes through. It's through, you go out and buy $100,000 truck. You go out and buy a $500,000 home that you don't have money for. You just get a loan and create it. It's in the economy. Mm-hmm. And so that money goes somewhere then, but it's a fiction that they just create out of nothing. And it's okay. Yeah, but if you don't put the basis, that dollar, like you said, into the bank, then they can't 9 times it. So just start operating in a new system, start bartering, start using some different form of currency, start using your energy in a different way instead of depending on the dollar to hold your energy and using that as a conduit of your energy that erodes your energy and leaks it all over the place. Right. Do it a different way and find different ways. And hence, you've got countries buying silver and stocking up on it. You've got gold higher, you've got all the metals higher, and just waiting on crypto to go higher because that is a peer-to-peer currency too. But that will come. But it's just, there are tools and mechanisms to do that outside of that whole system.
Well, and there was
playing in the casino.
That's right. India, I believe it was India, is starting to make loans against silver. So I guess they take your silver and make a loan against it, mm-hmm. which would, I think, pay itself off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would be increased. It probably would. Yeah, mm-hmm. unless it dumps down to $58 or something.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, which could happen, retrace, but
it could happen.
Short-lived.
Yeah. So that could be some interesting things coming down the line. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Some interesting things. That's how the elites do it now, is that they have a loan against their Manhattan high-rise.
Yeah, they keep their assets.
They keep their assets, and they just take a loan against it that they never pay off.
Use the fiat, that's created out of nothing, and play with that and throw some in the stock market to keep with inflation and, probably better rates than your interest rate on the loan. So, yeah.
Most likely.
It's all a big game. It's all a big casino. They just know how to play in it.
Yeah. Yeah. I know Trump was saying
the other day. Your lottery ticket, though. You got a 1 in 330 million chance of winning whatever, money they're going to throw at you after they take half of it.
I heard that somebody in Arkansas won the $1 million lottery thing. Wasn't us. But, good on them.
That's the show this evening.
Yeah. More shows. I don't make any money off the shows, but
I know.
But I love
you had nothing else to do. You're not. You got the money. Otherwise, you'd be out building a house or something.
Yeah. Well, I've got to, yeah, I love the community. That's why we do it. So, got to keep up the hopium and keep people alive. So, it's going.
Buying an RV and hitting the road. I'm out.
Yeah, my husband's not big on the RV idea. I would have already done it had
I
that
know
been.
you'd have been like,
Yeah, I've wanted an RV for years,
I know.
but Charlie is not about the RV. So, we'll see.
They have those double deckers. I mean, big master bathroom.
That would be a really bad idea. I don't
Yeah.
think. Yeah, I
Steps.
think I would need something small that I didn't injure. You've seen my driving, so I mean, I'm an excellent driver, but I could be dangerous. I don't think
Get
that
out of
would
the way.
I don't think that would be a good idea.
There's a Volkswagen Beetle. Take him out.
Yeah, I need a Volkswagen Beetle RV,
Mm.
or at least a Volkswagen RV, which they do make actually.
A little hitch on the top of the Volkswagen.
Yeah,
Pick it up and
that might work.
click it in.
What else is going on? I know there's all kinds of stuff going on.
The days are getting longer.
Yeah,
We're getting closer to spring, so that's good.
that's a positive thing for sure.
January 9th, so just keep on pushing through. Hopefully, don't get any bad weather in the winter. It's always good.
Yeah,
Today felt like spring. I mean, going outside.
Did it to you?
I could smell the earth because it was warm enough. I don't know. It sounds weird, but you can smell the dirt. I mean, when it's heating up and it's not cold, I could smell the earth. So I'm like, oh, it feels like spring. It's like, ooh, things will grow in that dirt, but it won't stay warm long enough. But in the spring, it does. And then
Yeah.
But it felt like one of those days where it was like warming up and wanting to come alive.
Well, thinking of things growing, the Cherokee Nation is opened up their heirloom seeds vault,
There we go.
and they're offering. You can go to their website, and they're offering. It's limited, but you can submit or request to have heirloom seeds, to purchase their heirloom seeds from the Cherokee Nation. So if you want to go check that out, you can buy some heirloom seeds from the Cherokee Nation, which I thought was
Nice.
really cool. I think that's part of making people healthy again, is buying heirloom seeds and
Yep.
not eating all this GMO shit that's not, I mean, how healthy can it be to be eating vegetables that can't reproduce?
I know. It's
Not-
unnatural.
That's not natural.
So everybody out there, get heirloom seeds because those will reproduce. And I mean, that's the thing. It's so abundant. One little seed is going to produce, hundreds, sometimes thousands, depending on the plant. So let it go to seed. And you've got everything you need for next year and years after.
Yeah, that was something I wanted to share today. We'll end in that. That's McAfee had a post, but I love his posts.
John McAfee.
There was a House bill that passed for small farms. I love all the farmer stuff. They can now process animals on their own farm. This was big. Another win for small farms. I know my dear friend Bix does not like Nacera Jacera, but it is very highly farm driven to the farmers.
Yes.
So this was on January 7th. This is House Bill 396. It allows small farms to process animals on their site rather than mandating USDA facilities. So it's a big win for the farmers and eases the burden for farmers struggling. Because right now, butchers are really backed up. Like I know in Oklahoma, it's a big deal. People trying to find butchers. And so
that's a job. If you want one, go into that. I mean, learn that skill.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a great skill.
It really is. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's.
Did you see check the chat there, Lisa? Aquarian did a wonderful thing. Aquarian done napping.
Aquarian done napping.
Look at
Oh, you
Look
sweet
at that big,
girl.
beautiful bubble.
Aw. You're so kind. I can't wait to meet you in person. So happy New Year, Lisa. You and Clint should have millions of subscribers. I agree. And I hope they all come to a meetup one day and we can give them all big hugs, because
Exactly. Plenty of hugs to go around. No shortage of energy here.
that's right.
Good to
For
go.
me, the best part is our community. I am still so sad that I didn't get to come to, but I'm so happy that you guys did have a great winter meetup.
It
And
was.
that was
Everyone had a good
really
time.
great. And I'm looking forward to, I think that's what for 2026, like, I'm excited that you're excited about having more meetups.
I am.
And we're going to be having some here in Arkansas as well. They just opened a big pavilion that's covered and air conditioned, heated, and all that stuff here in town as
Bougie.
well. Yeah, and they just have online booking for it.
Okay.
So I was checking into that and some other things, some other places. So I'm kind of excited about that too. And
I'm excited to get the outdoor shower going again. Just to warm up.
Yeah, I don't know about the outdoor shower, but
Oh, come on, it's got a great view.
thanks. No, I think the funniest part of the outdoor shower is when tiny little Marky had to use it and she couldn't turn it on by herself.
Because it's like up here.
Yeah, and so somebody had to go turn it on for her first, and then she had to go in and use.
Yeah. She's like, otherwise I'm gonna be climbing up here above the see. No.
Yeah,
Put your towel on first and then try and get out of the way so you don't get the towel wet.
yeah.
I didn't design it that way. It just worked out the way it was. I had to put a footstool or something in
This is
there.
where, see, when men build things.
But I'm not that tall.
Think it all the way through.
I guess I
No.
could reach it though.
Yeah. Anyway, too funny.
Yeah.
So too funny. But yeah, the community is the best part. And the sweet guys at WBRT, we were just talking about crypto, and we were doing 2026 predictions. And I can't remember what we were talking about. And all of a sudden, Greg from Rivet gives the sweetest compliment about building community and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet, Greg. And he was like, I'm not saying something sweet to be nice to you. I'm just saying that that's the value of bringing community together. Or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. and so it was just really, sometimes we forget. But Wes, we were just talking about that before, about like, how dividing, I was really concerned about this black pill thing and people getting frustrated with, to the point of not voting and like thinking, being to the point of like, oh, well, I just won't care about my country anymore because I just think I'm going to give up. Yeah. Or seeing this fraud and thinking like, oh, to the point of I just am paralyzed because there's no hope. And I don't want anyone to feel that way, because we were brought into this world to have a human experience, and a human experience is community. It's not to live an isolated experience. And so if you are having an isolated experience, come be part of our community, because we're all about meeting each other where we are and helping each other and having questions. There's no dumb questions. There's only open-mindedness, and there's just kind of open hearts, and we don't have to all be right, and we don't have to all think the same way or agree on the same thing. We don't have to all be like-minded in everything. And I think that's the best part,
Yeah, it really is. It's more than anything. It's a quest for the truth. I mean, what is true, and we all help each other, through that, and seeing that, we're all kind of on the same baseline as far as fundamental things, but different opinions on different things. I mean, no doubt about it. But it doesn't matter. It's what is new perspectives can, shape your, the way you look at things. Like, yeah, I didn't think of it that way. Yeah, you're right. I mean, okay. And being open about that and being willing to accept truth when it comes to you and absorb it and think about it and process it. And, it's only going to make you better. I mean, really. I mean, otherwise, you can hold to an old idea that, really might not be that beneficial to you, I mean, because it's really not the true, so, but sometimes it takes other people to kind of maybe make you think and wake up. And that's what this community does. It definitely lifts up, and that's it.
Yeah.
If you're in a situation where you're going through life and feeling dejected and upset and, nothing works out for me, this and that, well, maybe you're not hanging with the right people, or maybe you're not attracting the right people. Maybe there's something you need to look at. And, just the thing is, we just got to be honest with ourselves and be able to, make changes in ourselves when, things aren't going well, because maybe it's because, something we're doing, and other people can help. And good people, if you have them around you, are going to lift you up. They're not going to beat you down over it. They're just going to try and help you. And so that's what I find in this community, and other healthy communities too. I think, probably the same thing.
Yeah. And if you have a community that you trust, that you can come to and listen and be a part of. And sometimes it's just great to come in and listen and,
Right.
hang out with and watch what's going on.
Mhm.
And sometimes you see something in their life that can add value to your life. And that's just a big part of our group. So I'm just very grateful for all of us.
A lot of experiences that we're willing to share, and hopefully that helps someone else or inspires someone else to be better or do better or fix something. And I mean, and that's just it. It's like, hey, here's my trauma and pain. Let's see if you can learn from my mistakes. So there's
Well,
that.
and different seasons in life too. We
Yeah.
have mom and we have daddy-o, and we have all of us going through different seasons in life, and sharing those experiences as well. And I think that's a lot of fun too. So good stuff, good people.
All is good. So whenever the next meetup is, I guess we'll soon see.
We will soon see.
Sometime in the spring, it sounds like.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be spring. I was supposed to have a call with a lady on Thursday, but that did not happen. So we're hoping to have a call Saturday. I should have some more information
Nice.
this weekend. So we'll find out then.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. So do you think there was this weekend, everybody's talking about this Insurrection Act. We had the J6 anniversary. A lot of the same people that were at the J6 original went back there again, and it felt pretty healing, I think, for a lot of them, because there wasn't a trauma there this time. I think a lot of them got to kind of have a healing moment or whatever. I hope it was healing for them to return and not have something horrible happen. But there was a thing where Trump said, "Go home," on January 6th during his speech, around the 45-minute mark.
Okay.
Could he have done that again, where he said all the things that needed to say or happen, and then he's kind of lining up all the things? I mean, would it freak people out to see their own military in the streets? Is there a purpose for it? Do you see a purpose for it?
I mean, it just depends what happens, I guess. I mean, ordinarily that's not a common thing. You don't see that here in America.
Right.
We're not used to that standing army, kind of thing. I guess it just depends on what's the catalyst to cause it.
Right.
I would think that most people would be okay with it if there's a definite threat. there's a need. I mean, if you got roving gangs, the Mad Max scenario, that kind of thing, it's like, well, that's not good. And I mean, and I guess that's Trump's argument. A lot of the cities, that's kind of what it was in certain pockets, that you got a lot of problems.
But it would only be in those certain pockets. It wouldn't be like the
Yeah, I
United
mean,
States.
nobody's got a standing army and out here. What are you gonna?
Yeah.
There's nothing to worry about. I mean, what are you trying to do? I mean,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't make any sense. And you don't have enough soldiers to deploy to all these areas. It's a big country. I mean, it's huge. I mean, how many forces would you need in the cities to quell any, disturbances? And you got to think, okay, so you need somebody there, somebody there, somebody there. Yeah, it's just there's I don't know that there's more of a threat from technology than a standing army at this point. With drones and robot dogs. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm more concerned with that stuff than a fellow American firing on me. I really am. And who controls those things? That's a bigger concern for me, because that could go full stormtrooper. Empire thing. I don't, as long as it's, fundamentally I have a problem with it. But I'm, when your country's at war, in a lot of ways it kind of is in the cities, you kind of need to do something about it at some point. I mean, when you've let in 20 plus million people that are illegal, what are their intentions? I mean, what are their motivations? I mean, we have laws for a reason. We have borders for a reason. I mean, if some of this doesn't get cleaned up, I mean, that becomes endemic in these areas, and you got what you got. At what point do you stop it?
Yeah. I guess I was hearing like in New York, they were screaming to like hang Christy Noem and
Yeah.
then I was like,
that
then-
ICE incident.
yeah. And then I was like, well, then leave them to be. Then don't let ICE in and let them protect themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't want help apparently, but then people would be leaving. I would think people would be leaving New York, other than
well, people have Illinois has a
most
net
people have fled.
loss.
I would think.
Yeah. You got people leaving the state for
Yeah.
reasons like that. The high taxation, and you got crime rates in Chicago. There are areas there that aren't good, and why would you want to do that? And people they'll vote with their dollar. If they're mobile, they will. The wealth will leave, and then where are you at?
Well, hasn't that already happened though? A lot of it.
Look at Florida; they're booming because people are moving there. They think, well, this is a sanctuary as far as tax bases, and this other reasons I wouldn't want to live there. But yeah, you see that. You see the exodus from California. Moving eastward. Through Arizona to Texas, and you see that kind of thing happening. You see people moving to Florida, moving to southern states, because
I guess then you'd worry about people that low income families that can't leave.
That's
and
the
that
problem
they're
that you run into, right?
you
Exactly, and they're stuck in this sick situation to where, I mean, it's not going to get any better financially because they've run up so many debts and they can't pay them. Chicago, I mean, you look at that, and so then what happens? These people are kind of stuck. They're not mobile. What's left for them? And so, I mean, yeah, maybe some kind of drastic action is necessary at some point to root the thing out. I mean, it's bad policies is really what it is. Over time, incentivizing bad behavior, rewarding it, and people taking advantage of that system and grifting off of it. Starting daycares with no kids. Things like that. It's just that there's so much money and not enough oversight, or the oversight that's there is from corrupt people who are benefiting from it. Your elected politicians. Put in term limits to where you've got, the president gets 2 terms of 8 years, the senator only gets 1 term of 6 years, and then a representative might get 4 terms of 2 years for a maximum of 8, just like the president. I mean, something like that, and because that's what the nation was founded on. It's you go and serve and you come home. It was a burden more than anything to serve.
And they were only paid a per diem, I found out.
This is ridiculous now what they
didn't want them to have this perpetual situation.
Right. This is the problem that
And
we.
it should have been a burden for you to go serve.
That's
so that
exactly
you
what it
would want
was.
to go home to your job.
Right. You
Um,
want to go home. It's just
Yeah.
I'm serving because I am serving. And it's an obligation I feel, it's not something I really want to necessarily do as a career. It isn't a career. It's to go and serve. It's like going to jury duty. Do you really want to do it? Most people don't, and they try to get out of it. However, it's like that's a duty that you should take on because that's a very important thing. You can make a very big impact, at that level. And it's the same thing as serving in Congress, or any elected office. That's the way it kind of should be. I think. You go and serve and you come home and you still have that touch with the people, that impulse, and not just coming back for parades and crap, and no, it's you're part of the community and you're going to serve the community, and then you come back and then someone else can do it.
Mhm.
And then you're
You
immediately
lost
accountable when you come back home. It's like, hey, jerk.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know
Definitely lost that for sure.
but most of these people don't even live in their district. I mean, they got a house in the district, but are they even living there? I mean, they got their, place in DC and they party there and do all their crap, and they got houses everywhere else. How much time do they really spend living in their district? And that's the biggest thing. They're not connected to it, and so they're not a part of society. They're behind their gates and all that crap, in mansions. And it's like they're not really of the people, by the people, for the people at all.
Well, there was some report about a guy, I think out of Boston or something, and then his child was on some city mayor thing and being paid like $150,000 a year, but he was going to college at some Harvard or something. So they had him, I mean, they were literally paying him off the city salary, and then he was going to college somewhere else, and they were justifying it and giving him a travel stipend as well. I mean, it was insane. Like all of this, once again, all the fraud, all the, the ways of writing things because of, somebody knew someone, and it just feels, and it's all the rules. And that's where Trump was speaking the other day. And he said, they had my tax returns. They fought and fought. No president has ever had to turn his tax returns in. They told me not to do it. I gave them to them, and then they never shared them with you guys.
Never said a word.
Never shared them. Why didn't they share them with you guys?
Such a big deal.
If there was something bad, wrong, or illegal, don't you think they would have shared them with you guys? Yeah. Why didn't they? Mm-hmm. And maybe because he's the ultimate player, and don't hate the player, hate the game. And maybe he plays all the games that they do, and they don't want you to know the games that they play.
Very possible. You start seeing how he puts money in trusts or corporations, and different things that, that way, and which is what they do. That's what the system's designed to do. That's how you protect yourself. You don't have it in your name. You pay yourself a $50,000 a year salary, but you control billions, through, the control of whatever, entity that it is. And
or
you don't pay taxes.
A loan from your company that you never pay back. I know some people that do that.
Oh, there you go. Loopholes. Don't want to see all those.
I will say that, the baby trusts, the little happy baby Trump trusts, they're starting this year. If you have a baby this year. And when they announced those.
I'll get right on that.
When they announced those, they said everyone will have an account by July 2026.
Okay. Oh, there you go.
Well, maybe that's the way that happens, is that the babies start having them in January, but everyone will have one by July of 2026. I don't know.
You eliminate the debt, you just absolve it, make that platinum coin, eliminate it. And then everything runs through the treasury, all the tariffs, and then we start issuing dividends to every account.
I don't know.
I mean, why not? I mean, unless we get on a sound money system, this stuff is not going to get. It's going to be tough. I mean, it really is. We gotta wipe that stuff away, and You got to have some kind of restraint. I mean, there's got to be some sort of, check. And, it's always gold or silver before. There needs to be some way to limit, the increase, because people always worry, well, the cost of everything goes up, so I need more money. No, the cost of everything goes up because of the money. And so the cost of everything would go down and be deflationary if you had a stable form of money, because there's only so much money to go around for whatever goods that you produce. So the cost of those is going to have to go down because you're chasing just a finite pool of money. Say it's gold or silver, whatever it is, a crypto, whatever. And so the cost of everything is going to go down. I mean, it's counterintuitive to the way we live, but that's what would happen when you're on a sound monetary system. Or on an inflationary monetary system, that would be more of a deflationary monetary system, because, if 5%, more gold comes out of the ground every year, and, you produce, 10% more goods, it's deflationary.
Because when the first value was founded, they said, they put a rock on there and they said so many grains of silver
Right.
is worth an egg.
Yeah.
Or a whatever.
Right.
But we were the ones that decided
to codify it into
what this grain, what this rock.
Mhm.
We said this shiny rock that they said is so many grains of silver. It's just a shiny rock, guys.
Yep.
We were the ones that gave it value.
100%.
We said worth an egg, a chicken,
right,
a picture, a whatever.
anything.
We decided how much value it had.
Mhm.
It didn't have any value until we gave it value.
Right.
We chose. We are the energy. We are who gives it value. It's just a
Absolutely.
thing.
That's all it is. And
Yeah.
ultimately, what are you trading that thing for? You're trading it for energy. I mean, other kinds of, like an egg, food. I mean, you're trading it, shelter. I mean, you're trading it for things that you need. Ultimately, at the very base level, that's
Mhm.
really all it is. It's just a means to, trade for different forms of energy. Your energy goes into this thing, which then acquires different kinds of energy, and that's kind of what it is. Your
Yeah.
work is energy, labor's energy, chickens,
And-
eggs are energy.
Right.
Yeah.
And the rock was a thing that could be sent like a message,
Yeah.
like a letter,
Mhm.
to someone else to be exchanged
Right.
for
Everybody
more
knew what it was, and they're like, okay, yes, I know what gold is. Yes, I know what silver is. I will take that. And over time, thousands of years, people have said, yes, can't destroy this gold. Do everything we can to it, beat it down, burn it, melt it, throw it at the bottom of the ocean. It still is good. Paper thin it, and then you can put it back together. Whatever you want to do, form it in jewelry, carry it around with you. Carry your wealth everywhere you go. It's the whole idea of it. And so it's a good store of value, but really that value is just, storing your energy to be used at a later date for things that you need.
Yeah.
So get the things you need. Get your chickens now. And you don't need anything else.
Yeah. Make a buffalo.
Learn how to heal yourself. Eat good food off that food pyramid or triangle or whatever it is.
That's right.
The food
Absolutely.
bikini.
Whatever you got to do out of it.
Right.
Well, make sure you get some good food. Charlie made us some delicious stir fry earlier today.
Stir fry, all right.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Well, you know me, I'm pretty predictable. I've got the roast ready to go, and
I know it's the weekend.
It's the weekend roast.
Weekend roast for Westwood.
Yep.
He's the crock pot king.
That's it. You got it. Bam. Bam. That's what I do.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, are you going to do a spaces tonight?
I'm going to flip a coin when I go in,
Okay.
whether or not to do it.
I
Probably.
think you should. I think
You think so? All right.
Yes, I think you should. I
It's
think
a two-headed
everybody's.
coin, and I chose tails. Oh man, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe flip a buffalo coin and figure it out.
I got 2 nickels to rub together. I'm gonna start carrying 2 nickels in my pocket. Well, all I got is 2 nickels to rub together.
That'll work too. Well, I want to tell everybody thank you for joining us in the live chat. That's so much fun watching your comments, and a big thank you to Aquarian Den Napping for your generous
Yes.
donation. That was a big surprise, and
Awesome.
really appreciate that. Huge, big thank you. And she's one of my Patreon supporters as well. And so she can always message me privately there, and I will send her a thank you note there as well. So I appreciate that. And we'll see you guys. Maybe
One more
tomorrow.
thing. I was talking about rubbing two nickels together. Today, one nickel is worth 7.2 cents in copper and nickel value. So go to the bank, see if you can get some nickels. You know, they're worth 7.2 cents each, and you're paying 5 cents.
It's
Just
going on.
saying.
Rob a bank. Just
Yep.
saying. All right, you guys, take care.